In the desolate heart of Tokyo, Yumamiru Elementary stood as a chilling reminder of forgotten memories. Local teens shared spine-tingling tales of a malevolent spirit named Hanako-san, whose cursed presence haunted the third-floor girls' restroom. Unfazed by the warnings, 4 daring friends, Ryo, Sora, Nana, and Kenji, ventured into the forsaken school, seeking the thrill of a terrifying encounter. The school was shrouded in darkness, the air heavy with dread as they stepped inside. The echoing footsteps of the group seemed to be swallowed by the silence, and each creak of the old building sent shivers down their spines. As they reached the 3rd floor, the atmosphere grew even colder. The girls' restroom door seemed to beckon them with an eerie allure. Ryo, the most adventurous of the group, pushed it open, unleashing an ominous creak that echoed through the hallway. The restroom appeared ordinary at first glance, but an unsettling sensation gnawed at their senses. "Hanako-san, if you're here, give us a sign," Sora taunted with a trembling voice. At first, nothing happened, but then the temperature plummeted, and a low, guttural growl reverberated through the room. The walls seemed to close in, suffocating the friends with an inexplicable sense of doom. Suddenly, a blood-curdling scream pierced the silence, seemingly coming from all directions at once. The friends turned to see a shadowy figure forming in the corner of the restroom. Hanako-san's ghostly form materialized, her eyes hollow, and her face twisted in a haunting grimace. A sinister smile crept across her pale lips as she glided toward them, her movements unnatural and bone-chilling. Terror gripped the friends, but they were paralyzed, unable to escape the wrath of the malevolent spirit. Hanako-san's voice echoed in their minds like a banshee's wail, each word a torment to their souls. Her words resonated with pure malice. In a desperate attempt to flee, Ryo and Nana charged towards the door, but it slammed shut before they could reach it. Panic consumed them, and the walls of the restroom seemed to pulsate like a living, malevolent entity. Sora and Kenji screamed, their voices blending with the chorus of agonized wails that seemed to emanate from the walls themselves. Hanako-san's presence grew stronger, feeding off their fear and despair. In the depths of horror, Sora managed to find a flicker of bravery. She raised her trembling voice. "You're not real. This is just a legend." But her defiance only seemed to fuel Hanako-san's malevolence. The ghostly figure lunged at them, her cold hands wrapping around Sora's throat. Sora gasped for breath as she felt an otherworldly force draining the life from her. Ryo, Nana, and Kenji, driven by sheer desperation, fled, leaving their friend behind to the mercy of the vengeful spirit. Their panicked footsteps echoed down the dimly lit hallway as they desperately sought an escape from the haunted place. As they reached the threshold, the malevolent spirit let out a bone-chilling scream, its echoes reverberating in their ears. The door swung open, and they stumbled into the hallway, gasping for breath. Sora's struggles grew weaker as Hanako-san's grip tightened. The ghost's eyes glowed with an eerie light as she seemed to relish in Sora's suffering. Sora's vision began to blur, and her attempts to break free grew feeble. As Ryo, Nana, and Kenji reached the door, a rush of guilt and horror washed over them for leaving their friend behind. But their survival instincts pushed them to keep running, praying that they could find help and return for Sora before it was too late. They didn't dare to look back as they fled the accursed school, their hearts pounding in terror. The encounter had shattered their belief that Hanako-san was a mere legend. It was now an indelible nightmarish reality etched into their minds. Back in the clutches of the vengeful spirit, Sora's consciousness began to fade. The world around her grew distant, and the pain subsided into a numbing coldness. Hanako-san's laughter echoed in her ears as darkness swallowed her vision, leaving her fate uncertain. From that point onward, the legend of Hanako-san at Yumamiru Elementary took on a more sinister aspect. No longer a cautionary tale, it evolved into a harrowing reminder of the malevolent forces lurking in the shadows, poised to ensnare the souls of those recklessly drawn to them. For Ryo, Nana, and Kenji, the malevolent haunting of Hanako-san would forever torment their dreams, an unrelenting specter of the horrors they had witnessed in that forsaken place. In a small, picturesque village in Japan lived a girl named Hanako who possessed a heart full of kindness and a spirit that shone brightly despite her physical frailty. Hanako had been diagnosed with a chronic illness from a young age, which often left her weak and confined to her home. However, her parents and a handful of close friends admired her boundless optimism and the radiant smile that never left her face. Hanako's greatest desire was to attend the local school and make friends like any other child her age. She yearned to experience the camaraderie, laughter, and learning that the school offered. Despite her parents' concerns about her health, they decided to fulfill Hanako's dream, hoping that it would bring her joy and strength. On her first day at school, Hanako's excitement was palpable. She wore her uniform with pride, a symbol of her determination to be a part of the world beyond her home. Her classmates were initially intrigued by her presence, drawn to her kind personality and the stories she told from her window. However, not everyone was welcoming. A group of bullies led by a girl named Miko noticed Hanako's vulnerability and targeted her with cruel intentions. They mocked her for her illness, taunted her for her limited mobility, and took pleasure in her struggles. Hanako's positive spirit was unbroken, but the constant torment began to take its toll. One day, Miko and her group devised a particularly malicious plan. They saw Hanako enter the restroom on the 3rd floor, her sanctuary when the world became overwhelming. Seizing the opportunity, they followed her, and while she was inside, locked the door from the outside. Hanako found herself trapped, weakened by her illness, and terrified by the darkness that surrounded her. As the hours passed, Hanako's strength faded, and her hope began to waver. Her pleas for help echoed within the restroom's walls, unheard by anyone who could intervene. In her moments of despair, Hanako clung to the memories of her parents' love and the dreams of friendship that had sustained her. Tragically, Hanako's fragile body succumbed to exhaustion and fear that day. Her spirit, haunted by the cruelty she had endured, remained tied to the restroom where her life had been unjustly stolen. The legend of Hanako-san was born from the tragic events that had unfolded. To this day, students dare each other to enter the restroom alone and summon Hanako-san's spirit by asking, "Hanako-san, are you there?" Some claim to hear faint whispers or feel a chilling presence, a testament to the girl who had faced both illness and cruelty, but had never lost her capacity for kindness. The tale of Hanako-san serves as a poignant reminder of the consequences of bullying and the enduring power of empathy and compassion. It's a story that encourages us to stand against cruelty, to support those who are vulnerable, and to never underestimate the impact of our actions on the lives of others.